Hey YouTube, so I posted this video 6 months ago titled How I Make a Fortune on Airbnb While Owning No Property. You know, just putting my 2 cents into the world, my own opinion, based on my personal Airbnb experiences. And then boom, all of a sudden you've all taken way more interest in this video than ever expected, and this little YouTube channel is all of a sudden busier than ever because you're all looking for answers. So some of these comments from new subscribers are like, you know, this is BS, I don't believe it, it's not possible, you know, you can't do this legally. You get the point. So I did something special for you. I made a video that shows you exactly how I do this legally. If you want to watch the video, stay tuned to the end of this one. I just recommend it. You can click on the link there, of course. But you know, the proof is in the pudding, right? Yeah, so take a look at this. I made $70,000 in the month of April. What's even crazier is April is my birthday month. I was on vacation almost the entire time. I went to beautiful places like Istanbul. I went to Prague, the Croatian countryside, islands in Croatia like Korčula, and then lastly to Belgrade, Serbia, my family's home country. So I got back May 5th. This means I made almost $70,000 while on vacation using the exact same strategy that I've been talking about in this YouTube channel for almost 6 months. The rest of this video is my gift to you. I'm going to show you exactly how much money you should expect to take home as net income when running an Airbnb business like mine. Obviously, you can't keep all $70,000 because there's bills to pay. So let's break it down. Now, before I share my screen with you, I need to ask you one favor, and I promise I'll return that favor really quickly. See, I need you below this video, there's a red button. Click on it. It says subscribe, become a subscriber. And then below that, in the comments section, ask me for a video. Tell me what subject matter you'd like me to cover so I can continue to give you the content that you want out of this channel. But you need to be a subscriber so that way you can see when your video is ready. Okay? So welcome to the family. Thank you for subscribing. Now, let's jump into the screencast. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by showing you the progress section of my Airbnb profile, and we're going to go from there. So this year, you've seen that we have, so far in the first 6 months, $311,000 in revenue. The entire year last year, $360,000, and the year before that, $135,000. This was when I started to get serious. February this year was the year that the Super Bowl happened. And we decided to jump on it, right? So that's when we really started taking this seriously, because you'll see that in September, October, November, we started to scale up. We had our first our first real month over $10,000 in September, and we took off, and that's 2016. So it's been about a year and a half of just solid, dedicated growth to this business, and in the last 6 months, since October, we've more than doubled our revenue. This is huge growth for any business, okay? Now, the way that we pulled this off is by effectively managing our calendar. We have so many properties in Houston that we're competing with ourselves now. So you have to find a way to keep your occupancy as close to 100% as possible while also collecting a good rate. We've got tons of video content on this already, and plenty of you have seen it already, but we're not gonna jump on how to do that because you can just watch it on those. But I will give you something for free that we haven't shown in a video yet, and it's about the property we're in right now. I'm sitting in our only 3-bedroom property. We listed this 3-bedroom property about a month ago, just right before my vacation, and we have experienced something that's kind of like a hard lesson. See, we have 7 beds in this property. We advertise that we can sleep 14 people in this property. Now, that's great and all, but groups of 12 plus, they don't book last minute. They plan ahead. So when we listed this property, of course we're expecting to have like a good first month or whatever, but we didn't understand what we got ourselves into, and we're getting our bookings. Like, we're getting $400 to $600 a night on this property, but those bookings are for end of June and July, right? When we set this property up in April, right? So if you're looking at it that way, people are going to book your 3-bedroom, but they're going to book it 2 or 3 months ahead of time, which means that for the first couple of months, you need to discount your rates a lot, just like it's a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom, because the people that you want to stay in your 3-bedroom are already staying somewhere else, okay? So my point is, if you're going to start an Airbnb business, your first property, probably if you're strapped for cash, right? If you can't sit this out and you need the money back right away, your first property should be a studio or a 1-bedroom. You get your money back a lot faster. Overall profitability, this one is going to crush, but of course we've got to wait a few months. Now, this is a point for renting as opposed to buying a property too, because if you are going to leverage yourself financially and try to pick up a property and you're only going to have one, you want to pick up the most profitable property out there, which on Airbnb is like a 4 or 5-bedroom luxury property. That's where you make all of your money, are these big, sexy properties. But it costs a lot of money to furnish and to finance. And if you cannot wait 3 months for money to come back in, you shouldn't be buying a property to Airbnb, right? It's just a lot safer to pick up some small stuff and start to scale. Once you can bankroll it, sure, go buy a mega mansion and do it. But again, it's safer to rent up front, hands down. That's how we built our business. Trust me. Now, let's look at the actual numbers. So our rents for 21 active properties is $32,574 and a penny. And our electric costs are about $50 on average. And the reason why is we have a corporate electric account because we have so many leases, we're able to negotiate down our prices. Now our cleaning costs, this is another huge win. Normally you pay $45, $55 an hour for a cleaner, right? That's when I first started, that's what I was paying. But as we gain more properties, we notice we're spending way too much money on cleaning. It was just stupid. So now we hired our own cleaners and we pay them by the hour and we give them like 40 or 50 hours a week in cleaning each, right? So they're happy. So our cleaning costs, our weighted cleaning cost per week, that's our studios, 1 bed, 2 bedrooms, and this 3 bedroom, $60 per unit a week average. That is insanely cheap, right? That's as if we're spending an hour and a half in each property each week, which is not true. We've got people who are staying, 1 or 2 nights at a time. So we might have to clean the same property 4 or 5 times in a week, right? So the $60 per week is a huge cost reduction. So I recommend when you scale your business, hire your own cleaners. That will save you a ton of money. So internet, we like Xfinity because it's cheaper than AT&T. But of course, results may vary based on where you stay and who your providers are. Now, insurances, we only need renter's insurance when combined with Airbnb's insurance. Both of them together is sufficient. Now, if you're going to rent off of Airbnb, like HomeAway, you're going to do direct bookings, you should get extra policies. There are policies geared towards short-term renters, and you can get a corporate liability policy, which some buildings may require that you get. Short-term renters insurance can be as much as like $200 a month for one property, which is kind of expensive. And a corporate liability policy to protect your company is probably somewhere between $750 and $950 a year. Okay, but for our properties, since we're only Airbnb right now, we just pay our $9 per month to lemonade.com. Super cheap and it's wonderful. So not a big cost. Now losses, here's something for you. Take 1% of your revenue and save it away for risk. 1% of revenue saved for risk. Because you don't know what's going to happen. Somebody could break or steal a TV. Somebody could wreck a carpet. You might need to do carpet cleanings like because of that. Just unexpectedly you have to clean a bunch of carpet. A bed frame might break. There's just all sorts of stuff that can happen. And if you don't have that money stored away, you could run out of cash. And number one rule of business is never run out of cash. So 1% for risk is accounted for here. And that brings our total costs to $41,617 and a penny per month in costs. Our revenue is just over $69,000. Our total net profit, $27,482.99. That's absolutely outstanding. Just so juicy. But I know that some of you have watched this channel a lot and you're going to say, well, Sean, you have a property manager that runs your properties. This is true. I don't work anymore on this if I don't have to. I mean, I could just let it run. And Catherine does or Kat, as she likes to get called, does a killer job of handling her part of the business. Now, if you consider what you could pay a full-blown property manager, like let's say you hire somebody who's already been a property manager, you could be spending $2,500 to $4,000 a month on that person, okay? It depends on how many properties they're taking on and what market you're in and how expensive people are for positions like this. So let's factor that in, and now we're looking at $24,000 to $25,000 in profit, but your revenue is just under $70,000 and your profit's almost $25,000. That's a huge margin. You're in love with that margin, right? Warren Buffett would be happy with that margin, guys. So let's just break it down one last time. Rent your property, right? Start with a studio. Start with 2 studios, clean them on your own, get familiar with the business. You don't need a lot of money to get in, and grow your business from there. Once you have enough properties like us, we're picking up 10 more properties in Dallas in a couple of weeks, and we're hoping to have our first $100,000 month in July, okay? We're shooting for it. Now, after that, yes, we're gonna start buying property, of course. Well, when you have way too much money and you can't grow as quickly as the revenue's coming in, there's a point where if you just can't grow with your money, then switch your model up. So we can start dumping more of a money into equity because we can only pick up so many properties so quickly anyway. Is kind of how we're getting at that. We may do it after this 10 in Dallas, but I have a feeling we're going to do a Florida expansion. We're probably going to end up between 50 and 60 leases before we buy our first property, if I'm going to see the future and know myself. This is another big thing about business is you need to know yourself. Where you're strong, where you're weak. Don't lie to yourself. And if you're not good at something, find a business partner. Just, it's got to be that way sometimes. So speaking of, share this video with anybody that you think you'd like to Airbnb with, and start looking at, being an Airbnb host. You won't be upset that you did. So again, subscribe, ask me for more content, and let's get down into it. Let me show you how to be an Airbnb host the rest of the way. Watch the rest of the videos on this channel if you haven't. Thank you for watching Airbnb Automated, and I will see you on the other side.